Oh my god, that is so weird. A PlayStation 3 and a copy of Splatterhouse. Suppose Halloween? It's a time for miracles and goodwill to all mankind. But I seriously have no idea how a clone managed to get Splatterhouse into my room. If my mum knew I had this game, I would be grounded for life. And seriously, I'm kind of surprised this game even made it to Australia. This is probably the messiest game I've ever played. So a lot of people, smarter than me probably, have already had the chance to dissect and expose Splatterhouse for all its flaws. But here at Leftover Culture Review, we're prepared to go back through those leftovers, even if they're still pretty fresh. Going into this bloodbath, you gotta remember the source material. It's pretty shallow. Even in HD, it's all about the shock value, and that's why this might be the game to boot up around Halloween. A lot of time and dedication went into the style for this game. Twisted medical experiments, towering monsters, and a slow trip beneath the mansion on a return trip to hell. There's something kind of special about watching your guy get pulled apart piece by piece as you go up against the hordes of evil. Seeing his exposed ribs and limbs being pulled off gives this game a violent, gross out factor. My biggest complaint with the game has to be the wallet chain. I mean, seriously, what's up with that? Even my mum would be laughing after she's finished grounding me. Believe it or not, Splatterhouse is a game I was totally hunting down. I wanted a taste of the original series, but they're not the type of games that are easy to uncover. Splatterhouse 2 is the only one that was released for the Sega Mega Drive. Genesis owners also got Splatterhouse 3, and you might have missed the original Splatterhouse if you didn't have a TurboGrafx, Towns Marty computer, or access to the arcade cabinet. This has got to be the easiest way to get the entire series at once, and luckily, one of the easiest ways to hide it as well. I mean, imagine trying to hide the whole arcade cabinet under your mattress. This is the first time we've had the chance to check out a classic series up against its modern reincarnation. Did Splatterhouse's charm die with the first trilogy? Or have they actually managed to resurrect the long-buried franchise while pulling it into 3D? The first two games are arcade. Brutal, but simple. And it really hasn't evolved far from that. With some horrific monster designs and some pretty gory scenes, Splatterhouse wasn't a game that tried to pull you in with unique gameplay. The main feature here is the gore. I love the fact that they've added some personalities in the monsters. Sure, they're helping you out by killing each other, but watching an enemy so furious and so violent that it will actually cut down anything in its path, it's kind of unnerving. You're already used to everything in a game working against you. You're watching these hopeless demons fall into traps, tearing each other apart, and fleeing in fear. Splatterhouse 3 emerged from hell as more of a beat-em-up, with a slight maze feel, as you make your way through different areas, clearing room after room of the damned, racing against the clock to save your virtual family from the Dark One. I found it really easy to get excited about the fighting system in Splatterhouse 3, but moving away from the side-scrolling action of the first two games, it feels like a lot of the charm was lost. If you're going after the original cartridges for these games, you may be looking at dishing out a fair bit of pocket money. It'd be hard for a simple online video game reviewer like myself to launder enough money for both games. Do I want the Splatterhouse atmosphere at its best, or do I want a fighting system I can really enjoy? Thankfully, thanks to technology and modern convenience, my choice has been made a lot easier. Compared to these more classic Splatterhouse games, the latest one copped it pretty hard about 5 years ago when anyone still cared about it. But I seriously think if they did any more, they would have diluted the experience. We've got some massive nods to the original series, the room clearing, the side-scrolling. As I mentioned, it's mostly spectacle. If my mum came in right now and confiscated it until I was 45, I could just pick it up again in 5 years' time, start playing right where I left off. But once a year, when mum goes to bed early on Halloween night, a game like Splatterhouse is a friendly reminder that Namco, the same company that developed Pac-Man, a disembodied head that travels around a bleak, compacted maze being chased by ghosts, was able to come full circle with a game like Splatterhouse. So dudes, Thanks for joining us for Halloween month. We've had a blast. We've shared a few laughs, we've hugged each other during the scary parts. And the best bit, I didn't get grounded. I probably won't be able to sleep for like a week after such a spooky month, but that's the hard life of an internet-based video reviewer.